Hello, everybody. I apologize for the extra long waiting screen. Literally, like, right after I started stream, I was like, oh crap, I need to go swap out the laundry. So, had to go do that. But yes, we are going to be starting Tsukihime today. On Twitch, it says that I'm playing Tsukihime Plus disc, and that's not actually accurate. That's like a bonus thing, but as far as I can tell, Twitch doesn't actually have a category for the original Tsukihime. So I'm just kind of making do. Maybe I should put it in the remake category instead, but whatever. Haven't read Tsukihime since 2020. Great story, curious on the remake. Yeah, I have gone through Arcueid's route once, and that's it. That's the extent of what I've read of Tsukihime before, so most of this is going to be new to me. But yes, we are playing the original Tsukihime with a patch to remove the H scenes. Let me go ahead and get the game open. General content warning up at the top. This game gets pretty graphic, deals with a lot of heavy themes, etc. I think we're just gonna go ahead and get into it. This is copyright stuff. Yes, I'm definitely playing a legal version of this. 100%, for sure. Wait, shit. The night is pitch black, and no one else is in the house. It's scary being alone in the dark. So, to find everyone, I head out into the garden. I forgot it gets right into a scene with it just auto-scrolls. Our mansion's gardens are vast fields of green, surrounded by a thick, dense forest, with the trees blanketing out the light something, like a stage in a theater somewhere. The curtain of trees opens with a swishing sound. Excitement fills me, anticipating the beginning of the grand play. This is really loud. In the distance, I hear the sound of echoes beyond the black curtain of trees. Inside the forest, the sounds of everyone happily playing around. The curtain doesn't open yet. Unable to restrain myself, I wander into the darkness of the forest. Darkness surrounds me, a blackness so deep it's suffocating. Not even the calmest rays of the moonlight can reach this deep. The air is cold, a winter's chill so deep, my eyes feel like they'll freeze. For a brief moment, I thought I heard someone call my name, so I walk even deeper into the forest. After passing through the veil of trees, I find everyone waiting for me in the forest clearing. But something is wrong. Everyone is lying on the ground. Everyone is lying on the ground in pieces. The clearing is bathed in red. I don't understand. A stranger approaches. The look on his face says he wants to rip me apart. I don't understand at all. But someone else, someone I don't know, steps in front of me and is torn apart in my place. I'm just a kid, so I really don't understand. A splash. Something warm and wet hits my face. It's red. A red liquid. Red like a tomato. The person that was torn apart, that person I called Mom, never called my name again. I really don't understand. But it is just so cruel. I wanted to cry. I just felt like crying. Warm crimson blurs my vision, seeping into my eyes. But it doesn't bother me at all. The lonely moon floats above me, bearing witness in the night sky. It's strange. Why didn't I realize until now? Such a cold, horrible nightmare. Yes, I didn't realize it. That tonight, the moon is so beautiful. Okay, I need to turn the sound down. That isn't... Is that an option here? No, it is not. That is really loud. Alright, that should be better. And I need to adjust some things with how I've got things laid out. I do have a words. Oh crap, I forgot I closed it. Hang on. I have a guide, a flowchart somewhere. It's a lot more complicated than the one I used for Fate's Day Night. So we'll see how easily I can actually follow it. Is it in here? No. Oh, that's right. It's in here. In this. What? No. Okay. Okay. Should I have gotten all of this set up before I started stream? Yes. But oh well, here we are now. And then just to test... Yes, okay, that works like that. Alright. We are going to go ahead and start Arcueid's route. Now, this visual novel is from the year 2000. It lacks a lot of quality of life features. For one thing, I can't save, like, directly on a decision, if I remember correctly. I have to kind of guess, oh, it looks like a decision is coming up, and save the appropriate time. So we're not gonna do the bad end thing that we did for Fate's Day Night, I think. I'm just gonna avoid bad ends, at least on our first run through. Although, if there's any specific bad ends that I should check out, do, like, let me know when they're about to come up, I guess. Yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. That's enough yapping. Also, this game does not have voice acting. So, yay! More reading for me. A prologue. When I came to, I was lying on a hospital bed. The curtain on the nearby window sways gently. It is a beautiful day outside, and the dry wind signals the end of summer. Hello, Tonoshiki-kun. Congratulations on your recovery. The unfamiliar old man extends his hand for a handshake. His square-rimmed glasses and warm smile are very befitting. His tidy-looking white clothes suit him perfectly, too. Can you understand what I'm saying, Shiki-kun? No. Why am I in a hospital? You don't remember, do you? You were involved in a car accident while you were walking. Your chest was stabbed by a shard of glass, and it was unlikely that you would survive. Very unbefitting of what a doctor would say, yet he says it while still smiling cheerfully. Terrible. I feel terrible. I'm tired. Can I go to sleep? Yes, you should rest. You must focus on recuperating and not push yourself. The doctor is still smiling. To be honest, I can't stand that smile anymore. Can I ask you something, doctor? What is it, Shiki-kun? Why are there scribbles all over your body? And there are cracks all over the walls. Why are there cracks in the walls? The smile vanishes for just a brief moment, then returns to his face immediately. He turns and walks away. It seems there was some brain damage after all. Get a hold of Dr. Ashia in neurology. I also suspect he may have suffered some damage to his eyes. Spend the afternoon examining his eyes. The doctor whispers to the nurse so that I won't hear him. Weird. There are scribbles all over everyone's bodies. The sloppy, zigzagging black lines running all over the floors, walls, the ceiling. I don't understand what they mean, but looking at them makes me feel sick. I wonder what it is. The bed, too, is covered in these scribbly lines. When I touch the line with my fingertip sinks down into the crack. Oh! It seems as if I could reach farther down with something narrower, so I trace the line with a fruit knife that was lying on the bedside table. I didn't use any strength at all, yet the knife sinks into the bed all the way up to the hilt. It was fun, so I dragged the knife along the scribbly line. Thud. With a heavy sound, the bed snaps cleanly in two. Kah! The girl in the bed next to mine screams. The nurses run over and take the knife away from me. How did you break the bed, Shiki-kun? The doctors don't ask why, but curiously persist on how I did it. I traced along that line and it broke. Hey, just why is this hospital full of cracks? You'd better stop with that, Shiki-kun. There are no such cracks like that anywhere. Now tell me, just how did you break the bed? You can tell me, I promise I won't get mad. I'm telling you, all I did was just trace the line with the knife. I see. Okay, we'll continue this conversation tomorrow. The doctor leaves. In the end, not a single person believed my story. As long as I run the knife along the scribbles, I can cleanly cut anything. I don't have to put any force into it. It is as easy as cutting paper with scissors. The bed, the chair, the desk, the walls, the floor. I've never tried it, but definitely even people. But it seems that no one else can see these lines. The black lines only I can see. Despite being a kid, I gradually began to understand what the lines were. They are probably like stitches. Just like stitches that hold an open wound together after surgery. I think they're weak spots. After all, there is no way I could cut such a thing with a child's strength alone. Yeah, I didn't know until now. That the world is covered in these lines. These breaking lines that bind everything together. No one else can see them. That's why they are just fine. But I can see them. I'm scared. So scared I can't even talk. It's as if I'm the only one who went crazy. Maybe that's why? Why, even after 2 weeks, no one believes my story. Even after 2 weeks, no one has come to see me. Even after 2 weeks, I continue to live alone in a world surrounded by black stitches. I need to get out. I don't want to be in this room anymore. I don't want to stay in a place covered in stitches. That's why I decided to escape and run away to somewhere where no one else would be. But the wound on my chest still hurts, and I didn't get very far. That was when I noticed. I'm standing in the grassy field just outside of town. I really didn't get far at all. My chest hurts, and I feel so sad. I collapse to my knees and cough. There's nobody here. Drowning in this ocean of green at the end of summer, I feel like I'm about to disappear. But before that... Hey, you. It's dangerous to sit down in a place like that. I hear a woman's voice from behind me. Hello, Alco. Eh? What do you mean, eh? You're already a runt, so I can't see you if you're sitting in the grass. I was this close to kicking you, so watch out. She points at me rather grumpily. I get a little angry. After all, I sit in the 4th row from the front, so I don't think I'm that short. Kicked? By who? Isn't it obvious, stupid? You and I are the only ones here, so who else could it be but me? She declares this confidently as she folds her arms. Well, I suppose it must be fate that we met here. No, it's Tsukihime. So, you want to talk for a little while? My name is Aozaki Aoko. What's yours? She extends her hand to me with the kind of cheerfulness one would show an old friend. I see no reason to refuse, so I tell her my name is Tono Shiki and grasp her cool hand in return. Talking to her was a lot of fun. She didn't ignore what I said just because I was a kid. Instead, she listened. She listened to what I had to say, like a friend. We talked about many, many things. About my family, about how it was an old and respected family with very strict traditional rules, and my equally strict father. About my little sister Akiha, quiet Akiha who always followed me around. About our big mansion and the vast gardens, and how Akiha and I would play together with our friends. I told her about many things, almost feverishly. Oh, it's this time already. Sorry, Shiki. I've got some business to take care of, so let's stop here. She gets up to leave. My chest tightens, and I feel sad, thinking that I would be alone again. See you tomorrow. I'll be waiting for you here, okay? You should go back to your room and listen to your doctor. Oh. She speaks with such ease, in such a natural way as she makes her way off. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we would be able to talk like we did today. I'm happy. It was the first time I truly felt something since I awoke from the accident. Since that day, going to that grassy field in the afternoons became part of my daily routine. She would get angry when I called her Alco. For some reason, it seemed she hated her own name. After some thought, I decided that she seemed like a very distinguished person, so I came to call her Sensei. Sensei would seriously listen to anything I had to say, and would always dispel my anxieties with but a single word, without fail. Hello, Homerants! Welcome, welcome! I was depressed from the accident, but slowly, thanks to Sensei, I began to return to my former self. Even those scary black scribbles didn't seem quite so scary anymore when talking to Sensei. It's going alright. I completely forgot to move this over in the overlay. There we go. Happy late Thanksgiving. Yeah. Happy late Thanksgiving to any viewers who celebrated. I hope you had a good day. Alright, that looks better. I didn't know who she was or where she was from. Perhaps she really was a teacher. But I don't care. It doesn't matter at all. Because it's fun being with Sensei. That alone is all that matters. And that alone is more than enough. Just starting Tsukihime? Yeah, I went through Arc's route once before, like a few years ago, but I'm I don't remember much of it, and I'm starting completely fresh on like a new computer, completely wiped saves. So, hey, Sensei, look what I can do. I wanted to surprise her one day, so using the fruit knife I brought from the hospital, I cut down a tree growing in the field. Like before, I run the knife along the scribble-like line and cut it cleanly across the base. Are you allowed to stream this on Twitch? Oh, I'm using a patch that cuts out the H scenes. Amazing, isn't it? I can cut anything easily as long as it's somewhere where I can see the scribbles. No one else can do this, right? Aren't they important? I don't know how important, but frankly, even if I was just reading this on my own, I would want to skip those because some of them just made me downright uncomfortable, personally. Shiki. She slaps me across the face. Sensei? What you just did was extremely thoughtless. Sensei gives me a hard, piercing glare. I don't know why, but I realized I just did something I definitely shouldn't have done. With Sensei's severe expression and the pain from my cheek where she slapped me, I felt very, very sad. Fair, you skipped all of them in Arc's route. Yeah, they're... Ugh. Some of them are just... Ugh. I felt dirty reading them. I'm sorry. Before I knew it, I was crying. Shiki. Then, a gentle, warm feeling envelops me. There's no need to apologize. It's true that you did something I should be angry at you for, but it's definitely not your fault. Sensei squats down and hugs me. But you know, if someone doesn't tell you otherwise now, one day you're going to make a mistake you can never take back. That's why I won't apologize. You can hate me all you want, if you feel that way. No, I don't hate you, Sensei. Really? I'm glad you feel that way. I guess it was fate that the two of us met here like this. Nasu has a knack for writing the goofiest H scenes, but yeah, they're not good. Yeah. Sensei began to ask about the scribbles I could see. Yeah, I did read the ones in Stay Night and Hollow Ataraxia. Not on stream, obviously, but like when I first played through those games on my own time, and they're not good. You didn't make it past Arc's route either, it was kinda meh. Nah. As I told her about the lines, the black jagged lines that somehow only I could see, Sensei's embrace tightened. Shiki, what you are seeing is something that should never be seen by anyone or anything. Everything in existence has points where they are most easily broken. We, who will break down one day, are imperfect for this reason. You do like vampires, though? Yeah, one of the main reasons why I wanted to read Tsukihime to begin with was the vampire lore. And another reason why I wanted to was the Holy Church lore. Because Tsukihime goes way more in depth with the church than anything in Fate does. And also with vampires, obviously. I'm perfect for this reason. Your eyes have the ability to see the fate of all things. To put it another way, you can see the future. Aoko, this is a terrible way of explaining the mystic eyes of death perception. See the future? That's right. You can see death. You don't need to know any more than that. If someday you happen to go down that path, the principles will become clear to you as something that is needed. Sensei, I really don't understand. That's good. It's important that you don't understand now. All I want you to know is that you must never cut these lines on a whim or as a joke. Understand? If you do so, your eyes will begin to take the lives of others too lightly, and that is the worst thing that can possibly happen. Okay. I won't do it if you say so, Sensei. Besides, it kind of hurts my chest. I'm sorry, Sensei. I'll never do it again. Good for you, Shiki. Never forget the feelings that you have experienced here today. If you stay that way, I'm sure you'll find happiness. Sensei finally lets go of me. But, Sensei, I see those lines and get worried. They'll be cut as soon as I trace them, right? Then it wouldn't be weird for my surroundings to come apart at any time. You're right. I'll be able to help you with that, at least. It seems as if that's the reason why I'm here. Sensei sighs, then favors me with a warm smile. Shiki, I'll give you a very special present tomorrow. Did I like Fate? Oh yes, I love Fate Stay Night and Fate Hollow Ataraxia. They are both chef kiss. Beautiful. Peak fiction. I'll give you your old life back. The one you were living before your accident. Yeah, I'm like long-time Type Moon fan. The next day, exactly the 7th day after I met Sensei, she arrives in the grassy field carrying a large trunk in one hand. Here, if you put these on, those strange scribbles won't be visible anymore. What she gave me was a pair of glasses. But my eyes are fine. Just put them on. The lenses don't have any magnification or anything. Sensei forces them on me. Suddenly, whoa! Incredible! This is amazing, Sensei! Read other VNs too. I honestly haven't read a whole lot of other VNs. Mostly like obscure indie stuff. I would like to kind of broaden my horizons a bit more. I've got basically every, oh god, I'm blanking on the name. Like Higurashi and Umineko and stuff. I've got all of that in my Steam wishlist and like a bunch of other stuff. But, these ones are more accessible for me. 'Cause I'm broke. So. This is amazing, Sensei. I can't see the scribbles anymore. Not at all. Of course. I had quite a long time stealing Mystic Eye Killer from my older sister to make this Aozaki Aoko masterpiece. Toko mentioned! Toko, my beloved. So treat them well or they'll be hell to pay. Got it? Yep. I'll take good care of them. You're incredible, Sensei. You made all those horrible lines disappear just like that. It's like magic. Fata Morgana is on sale and it's one of your favorites. Oh, I've heard a lot of good things about that one. Of course. I am a sorceress, after all. One of these days I'll play Mihoyo too. Giving me a proud smile, Sensei puts her trunk down on the ground. But know this, Shiki. Those lines haven't disappeared. It's just that you can't see them. Once you take the glasses off, you'll be able to see them again. Really? Yes. That's the one thing that cannot be fixed. Your only choice is to keep living your life and do your best with the eyes you have now. No. I don't want these scary eyes. If I cut those lines again, I'll end up breaking my promise to you. Oh, you mean never cutting the lines again? Silly, you can break that promise whenever you like. Really? But you said it was something I shouldn't do. Yes, it is. But that is your gift, Shiki. It's yours to use as you see fit. No one else but you has the right to judge you. But out of all the abilities one can have, yours is terribly unique. No, it's not. If you have such a power, that means there is a meaning behind you having it. God doesn't give us powers for no reason. You might say that you were given the mystic eyes of death perception because one day a time will come when you will need them. That's why you must not live in denial of their existence. Sensei squats down so our eyes would be level. But you know, that's why you must never forget. You are a very kind and honest person, Shiki. As long as you remain the way you are now, your eyes will never bring forth any wrong. However, I'm not telling you to become a saint. All I'm saying is live true to yourself and become a man in the manner that you think is right. Since you can accept your mistakes and are able to apologize, I know that in 10 years, you will become a great man. Is he kind and honest? Yeah, I don't know about that one. That being said, Sensei stands and reaches for her trunk. Oh, but I must say, unless in exceptional circumstances, you shouldn't take the glasses off. Special powers attract other special powers. Only when you decide there is no other way should you take off those glasses, and even then, be mindful of how you use your power. Power in itself is not evil. What is evil rests solely in the hearts of the ones wielding such power. Be it for good or evil, it will be up to you and the choices you make. She picks up her trunk. Sensei doesn't say anything more after that, but deep down, I knew we would have to part. It's impossible, Sensei. I can't do it. I won't understand just by myself. The truth is, I was so afraid before I met you. I was only able to return to being me because you were with me. I can't do it. Not even with these glasses. If you're gone, I can't do it. Don't say such things, Shiki. If you tell lies that even you yourself can't believe, you'll only make whoever hears you sad. Sensei raises her eyebrows in displeasure and pokes my forehead. You know it yourself, don't you? You're all right now. So don't say any stupid things and give up on the self that you finally found. Only you can choose to be you. No one else can do it for you. Sensei turns around. Well, this is goodbye. Listen, Shiki. Life is not easy. Everyone's life is a hard, long, rocky road, filled with many pitfalls. You have no more power than anyone else to do something about that, so pull yourself together. Does she ever show up again? I honestly don't know. Sensei is leaving. I was sad, but I'm Sensei's friend, so I have to see her off properly. Yes. Goodbye, Sensei. Well done. That's right, Shiki. Hold on to that confidence, and always live true to yourself. When you find yourself in trouble, calm down and think things through carefully. Okay? A solution will always present itself if you do. It'll be alright. You'll manage, even on your own. Sensei laughs happily. The wind blows. The field of grass sways in unison. Sensei was already gone. Goodbye, Sensei. After saying that, I really felt that I would not see her again. All that remained were her many words and these mysterious glasses. It was only 7 days, but she taught me things more valuable than anything else. As I stand there by myself, I feel tears well up in my eyes. Man, I was such a fool. I could only say goodbye. I couldn't even say a single word of thanks to her. I left the hospital soon after that. Afterwards, I didn't return to the Tono household, but was taken to live with my relatives instead. But it's alright. Tono Shiki will be just fine, even by himself. I'll spend a new life with my new family. And like that, Tono Shiki's 9th summer ended. The new autumn arrived, and I think I became more of an adult. First day, October 21st. Oh, I did not know this takes place in October. Also, I gotta make this joke at least once. Haha, this idiot needs mystic eye killers. This loser needs mystic eye killers to deal with those mystic eyes of death perception. This post was made by real Ryogi Shiki enjoyers. Had to adjust how I was sitting. Okay. Anyways, autumn. The last traces of summer are disappearing today, a Thursday halfway through October. This is the day when I, Tono Shiki, returned home. It's been 8 years since I left. Shiki, hurry up. You're going to be late for school. I hear Keiko-san's voice floating in from the kitchen. Okay, I'm leaving, I call back. I place my hands together in the room that was mine at the Arima's up until now. I'm going. Thanks for letting me live with you these last 8 years. Clap, clap. I fold my hands together in prayer. Then, grabbing my only bag, I leave the room that had become so familiar. I walk through the entrance to the Arima's house, then turn to face it. Shiki. Keiko-san, who had come to the door to see me off, calls my name somberly. See you later. Take care, Mom. What a strange thing to say. I won't be coming back. Never again will I pass through this door as a member of the Arima family. Thanks for looking after me. Please give my regards to Father, too. Keiko-san simply nods. 8 years. The eyes of the person who had been my mother look so sad. I don't think I've ever seen her like that before. I am sure it'll be hard for you at the Tono's house. Please watch yourself. Your body is weak. You mustn't overdo it. I'll be okay. After 8 years, I'm just as healthy as anyone else. I'm a lot tougher than I look. I suppose you're right. But the Tonos are different from everyone else. I'm worried they'll be too much for you. I know what Keiko-san means. My home from today forth will be a mansion, an uncommon sight in this day and age. Not only is the house amazing, but the family itself is highly respected. It's said they hold significant investments in many corporations. To top things off, it's my true home. The Arimas have only been looking after me. But it's already decided. Yeah, it's something that's decided already. Alright, I'll be heading off then. Thanks for taking care of me. I repeat those words one last time and turn my back on the household I had grown so accustomed to over these past 8 years. I leave the Arimas and start walking to school with a heavy heart. 8 years ago, I recovered from a serious injury that normally would have meant death. Then I was entrusted to the Arimas, a family branching off from the Tono family. I had lived with my real parents at the Tono mansion up until I was 9. Then I lived with the Arimas for 8 years until now, my second year of high school. I just noticed that the on-screen Twitch chat isn't working. Bruh. I lived a normal life as an adopted son. From the time I met Sensei, those special circumstances Sensei told me about as she parted never happened, and the glasses hid the lines from me as long as I wore them. The life of Tono Shiki was a peaceful one. It meandered along gently until a few days ago, the day when the head of the Tono family sent word to me. Return to the Tono mansion. The very family that, until now, had shunned me. I sigh again. To be perfectly honest, even before the accident, I had never gotten along with the Tono household. Maybe as a kid I never liked the formality demanded by the family. Perhaps that's why I said nothing when the old man told me I was going to live with the Arimas. I think it turned out well. I got along well with my adopted parents, Keiko-san and Fumio-san. It was as if they were my real parents. I lived a normal life in the loving family of the Arimas like a real son, just like I had always wished. I don't regret living there. Except for one thing. My little sister, 1 year younger than me, remained behind with the Tonos. Akiha, I bet she hates me now. I wish she did. It would only be natural. She had to live in that mansion all by herself, under the constant supervision of that hard-headed old man. I could easily imagine what Akiha thought of me, the one who escaped. I let out another sigh. I can't help it. What's going to happen will happen. Today, after school, I'll return to my true home. Lord knows what'll occur. But for now, I've got more pressing problems. My watch shows 7:45. Homeroom starts at 8 o'clock sharp, and anyone who isn't in class by 8 is marked as late. Clutching my bag, I start sprinting towards school. I manage to make it to school in less than 10 minutes. I enter from the back gate, accomplishing a feat that would bring the track scouts running if they knew. Come to think of it, today's also the last day I'll come in through the back gate. The Arima and Tono houses are on opposite sides of the school, with the Arimas being behind while the Tonos is in front. Obviously, I'll be coming through the front gate in the future. And I quite like the lonely atmosphere back here, too. For some reason, the back gate at our school isn't really popular. Only 10 people or so, myself included, actually use it. It's quiet and pretty devoid of people, day or night. Clang! Clink, clink, clang! Like I said, pretty quiet. The sound of a hammer mixed with distant birds singing reaches my ears. Hammering. Huh? Clang! Clink! Clong! A half-rhythmical ringing comes from one corner of the courtyard. What is that? Homeroom begins in less than 10 minutes. I don't have time to stop and find out, but I am pretty curious. Right now... Oh boy. And now... I have to... see if I can figure out... particularly what I should be doing here. I don't think this actually matters that much. There's no way the very first decision is going to matter. We'll say I'm curious, so I'll go take a look. The source of the noise soon becomes apparent as I walk towards the courtyard. A female student is crouching in the middle of the tree-lined path, working with a hammer and nails. What is she doing? There are only a few minutes left until homeroom. Maybe she doesn't have a watch. At the moment, that's the best I can come up with. Still, to notice and then just ignore her would be somewhat cruel. I approach her unhurriedly, trying not to surprise her and speak. Hey, homeroom is starting soon. Huh? The squatting girl raises her face. The ribbon on her uniform displays the color of a third year. The older student looks at me while holding a hammer. Her gaze through those glasses is so direct I feel like I'm being pulled in. Her serious eyes make me want to apologize for bothering her. The splint she was facing is rotten beyond use. come to think of it, our school's rear courtyard is in a terrible state of disrepair. I need to say, CL's original design, miles better than the remake design. They stole her bangs! How dare they! They stole her 90s anime bangs! The splints are neglected and the flower beds untended. Apparently, the teachers intend for the students to conduct a big cleanup at the end of the year, so the maintenance men have done nothing since summer. I take in the situation with a single glance. The girl with the hammer is repairing the broken down splints, paying no mind to the fact that her tidy uniform is being dirtied. She has sweat on her brow, and it looks like she had been swinging her hammer in a most serious manner. But as far as I know, there's nobody in charge of repairing public property at this school. What is it? The older student asks, adjusting her crooked glasses. It's nothing. I was just wondering what you were doing. As you can see, I'm in the middle of fixing the splints. Yeah, I can see that. That's not what I meant. I was wondering why you're doing something like this. Won't the maintenance people take care of it anyway? The older student laughs to hide her embarrassment. I'm the kind of person who can't stand seeing a mess like this. I just can't leave them alone. It seems as though she is repairing the splints because she just couldn't let them stay that way. What an odd senpai. That's why you're fixing it on your own? If you don't like the mess, why not just avoid coming here? Well, my classroom is over there. Senpai points at the second floor classroom facing the courtyard. My seat is next to the window, so it's easy for me to see the courtyard. Well, usually I just bear it, but when I took my seat today, I was surprised to see all the splints in this area were broken. Senpai's face clouded, as if to say, isn't that terrible? Apparently she's upset, although she doesn't look seriously angry. You know what they say, strike while the iron's hot and all? I borrowed the tools from the office and decided to fix them myself. And so the explanation ends. Making a bow, Senpai returns to hammering the nails. Alright, I understand all that, but how about we leave it here for now? Homeroom is in less than 5 minutes, and if it's this bad, won't the school get around to fixing it pretty soon? No way! Gripping her hammer, the senpai with glasses shakes her head furiously. I won't be able to concentrate with the garden like this even if I go to class. It'll just sound like nonsense to me, and then the teacher will say, "Hey, you! What are you staring at?" I'll get yelled at for sure. Senpai continues to grip the hammer while she emphasizes her point. Well, I suppose the teacher would be upset if you kept looking outside. He would, wouldn't he? That's why I have to do it now. With that, Senpai begins her repairs once again, clumsily hammering away. She's obviously not used to using a hammer. Clank, clank, rings the hammer as it hits the wood. By the looks of it, there isn't just 1 or 2 broken splints. I can't begin to guess how long it will take her to repair all of them on her own. The bell begins to ring. Looks like first period started. I give up, considering things have gotten to this point. I sit down silently and begin to help repairing the splints. Once I began to help, I quickly realized mending them isn't that difficult after all. Although the older student is not used to making repairs, she is quite skillful anyway. She's already gotten the hang of it, and work is proceeding at a brisk pace. One of my cats just made a slightly concerning sound. Hang on. Just one moment. Alright, all is well. And we now have a cat sitting up here. Please don't get in the way, okay? Okay? She's probably gonna get in the way. Senpai's movements are quick and sharp, and I enjoy watching her. She really is quite clever. Before I know it, there's only one splint left to repair. 30 minutes have passed. I can't stay here any longer, and only one more would be no problem for Senpai. Well, I'll be going. I stand up and dust off my pants. The student with the glasses also stands up and begins to stare at me. Huh? Come to think of it, just who is she? I hadn't given it any thought because of what I was doing, but when I stopped to consider her, I realized she is quite beautiful. Someone this good-looking would be known by every male student. They'd be talking about a third-year beauty. I have to go. Don't work too hard, Senpai. She gives an obedient nod. Even though she's older than me, it's almost like dealing with someone younger. Thank you for helping me. I'm glad you did. She makes a quick bow. I'll be sure to come say hello during lunch. Ah, don't forget to wash your hands, Tono-kun. You too, Senpai. With that, I wave my hand and leave. Wait. Huh? Have I met you before, Senpai? Huh? Senpai cries out in surprise and mischievously puts on a depressed face. Tono-kun, you've forgotten about me? Huh? Forgotten? No, I don't think so. If I had ever met a beautiful woman like her, there'd be no way I'd forget. She looks up at me reproachfully. Those eyes, I'm sure I remember them from somewhere, don't I? Come to think of it, we had exchanged greetings once or twice before, hadn't we? Ciel Senpai, isn't it? Apprehensively, I suggest her name. Yes, and I'm glad you remember. You seem the type to space out and forget, Tono-kun. I don't think I space out, but there's nothing I can do about the fact that I forgot. See you later then. Sorry for keeping you. Ciel Senpai bows again. I watch her go, then start to walk towards the school building. When I reach my class, it's already the break after first period. I slip into the room while everyone's busy talking. My desk is the window seat in the very back row, so I can sneak there without drawing any attention. And when attendance is taken in the second period, everyone will probably say, "Hey, when did Tono get here?" It's a strange quirk in an otherwise dull class. But I guess that plan won't work this time. Yo, truant boy! It's totally unlike you to be late. I sigh. It feels like reality is being hammered back into me after the pleasant time I spent with Senpai. What's with that sour face of yours? Being late when I'm actually on time. What do you think you're doing? Hey, listen, I'm not coming to school for your sake, you know. What? But I'm coming to school for your sake? That's so unfair. Words fail me. I wonder, like I have many times before, how I ended up knowing this guy. His hair dyed orange, his ears pierced, his vicious glare that screams he will pick a fight with anyone, anytime, and his wearing of rebellious clothes. Inui Arihiko is the only free-spirited outlaw in our university-oriented high school. We've been bitter enemies since middle school, right? If you make a carefree face like that in front of your rival, you'd better be prepared for trouble. In any case, Arihiko is a loud guy. Yo! Morning, Tono! Before I know it, everyone in class is looking my way and greeting me. Shut up, Arihiko. You're ruining my chance to slip into class unnoticed. And why am I your rival anyway? There are plenty of other tough guys around, so stop bothering me. Well, he still owes me close to 10,000 yen from middle school, so I guess that does make him my enemy. Why are you only mean to me, Tono? You're like a saint to everyone else. It's not fair. What, you just figured that out? Life's not fair. You really are only mean to me. I didn't try particularly hard to be cold to Arihiko. That's just the kind of relationship we have. By the way, Arihiko, what's a chronically late night owl who never shows up until second period doing here in homeroom? It's a little... no, it's very odd. Haha, I was thinking that too. I guess being at school on time isn't just for when I happen to wake up early. Well, I won't comment on your hobbies, but what I'm asking is why you woke up early. Why I woke up early? I guess it's because I can't stay out late since all that fuss started, so I actually go to sleep at night now. You've heard the stories about those serial killings, haven't you? Serial killings? I see. Come to think of it, I did hear something like that. I feel a tinge of regret at needing Arihiko to remind me. For the past 2 or 3 days, I had been debating whether or not to return to the Tono household, so I completely lost touch with the news. What was that again? They've given it some really nasty name, like the freakish serial killings or something. There's more to it. So far, all the victims have been young girls. The 8th victim was only 2 days ago. And to top it all off, they were all... Wait, what happened to them again? Arihiko tilts his head in contemplation. I'm an idiot for asking him. Yeah, I remember now. All the victims had cross-shaped slashes on their throats. No, Inui-kun. Everyone who was killed lost a lot of blood. Oh yeah, that was it. They said it's some kind of modern-day vampire or something. You sure know a lot about this. You sure know a lot about this, Himizuka-san. Not really. It's happening in this town, so it's in the news. You'd remember it even if you didn't want to. I see. I thought it was happening in a neighboring town, but I guess it moved down here. Well, anyway, that's what happened. Even I wouldn't be going on the streets at night with a killer walking around. That's why I've been waking up at 7 lately. What, that's it? Having a good reason doesn't make a good story. Where's the fun in that? I sit down while dealing with Arihiko. Man, you're cold. What, did you collapse from anemia already this morning? I'm alright, thanks for asking. If I was anemic 24 hours a day, I'd be dead by now. Yeah, you're right. If you say you're okay, then I guess you're okay. Bell rings while we're talking. Hey, class is about to begin. Hurry up and get back to your seat. Yeah, alright. Oh, by the way, we'll have lunch today in the cafeteria instead of on the roof. I've invited a special guest, so look forward to it. With a scheming laugh, Arihiko returns to his seat. See you later, Tono-kun. Yeah. Sorry for keeping you, Yumizuka-san. Her light footsteps tap across the floor as she returns to her desk. But... it's still a mystery to me why she joined our conversation. She's just our classmate. It's lunchtime. Now then, where should I eat lunch? Let's go to the cafeteria. We were invited by our friend. The cafeteria is packed, as usual. A long line of people waiting for their orders has developed. Casting a glance at the students holding their meal tickets, I sit down at Arihiko's table. So, Arihiko, who is this special guest? That's odd. We arranged to meet here in the cafeteria. Hold on, I'll go check things out. Arihiko runs off, leaving his curry udon. Chikara udon is my choice. I hope he returns before the noodles go stale. It's no good. Looks like Senpai went somewhere. Your guest is a senpai? Yeah, she's a really cool girl. I've been hitting on her for the last few days, and I finally got her to agree to eat lunch together. Apparently she has someone she wants to thank today, so she's running around school looking for whoever it is. Sorry, CL. It seems like she's a busy person. Yeah, she's kind of like one of those penny racers. With a look of regret, Arihiko splits his chopsticks. Well, I guess it can't be helped. Anyhow, itadakimasu. Yep, itadakimasu. We begin to slurp at our udon. Just what the heck are penny racers anyway? So, what was the real reason? Huh? What do you mean? The reason you were early this morning. You aren't the sort of person who comes to school early just because he gets up early, Arihiko-kun. I question Arihiko as I sit next to him, eating my chikara udon. Arihiko gives an uncommitted response as he slurps away at his soup. Are you going back to your real house today, Tono? Yeah, I am. Wait, have I told you about that already? Nah, I just heard it from the teacher. Arihiko continues to wolf down his curry udon without glancing in my direction. I thought, maybe Tono will get really depressed, so I decided to check it out. I see. And your verdict? Oh no. Oh no. Alright, sorry about that. My cat began displaying the telltale signs that she was about to have some tummy trouble. So I had to quickly deal with that. Anyways. I see. And your verdict? Pretty disappointing. It wasn't worth getting up early for. You really have too much time on your hands, Arihiko, I conclude, as I bite into the white rice cake in my chikara udon. That's the kind of person Arihiko is. Today is the day I return to the house of my real family, returning from the home of the adopted family who raised me. Arihiko must have heard about it somewhere and came to school early because he was worried about me. Arihiko, I think your appearance does you a disservice. You're really sentimental underneath. If it's the always melancholy Tono telling me that, then maybe I'm the real thing. Arihiko slurps noisily at his noodles. So, man, what's really going on? What do you mean? You've been living with the Arimas since primary school, right? It's been 8 years already. Your dad has basically disinherited you. Why is he suddenly calling you back now? He didn't disinherit me. He just kicked me out of the house somehow. Tono-kun, if there ever was a family that kicked their kid out of their house somehow, that's not a tragedy, it's a comedy. But it's so boring, it's not even funny. Arihiko spreads his arms and shrugs. Refusing to be serious, ever, is one of Arihiko's easy-to-understand traits. Yeah, I guess you're right. If you get kicked out of the house, laughing is all you really can do. And then he said some cliché line like, never step foot in this house again, or something, right? That's what people would call disinheritance. Come to think of it, I've never heard why you were disinherited. Who knows? That's something I'd like to know too. Well, if you don't want to talk about it, you don't have to. Grabbing his bowl with both hands, Arihiko drains what is left of his hot curry soup. Lunchtime is short. Following Arihiko, I decide to quickly finish my chikara udon. The last class of the day ends. I don't feel like going to the mansion right away, so I just blankly stare out of the window overlooking the school grounds. The classroom is dyed orange by the sunset. It's like red watercolor paint, and it hurts my eyes. I don't like red. It feels like it soaks deep into the back of my eyes, and I want to throw up. It seems I am weak against things that resemble blood. No, I should say I am weak against blood itself. 8 years ago, I had a near-death experience. I was in an accident where I was injured in the chest, and I teetered between life and death for 4 days. I should have died instantly, but miraculously I survived. Maybe it's because of the great medical treatment. However, the injuries were so severe that I don't even remember the accident. 8 years ago, when I was a child, I felt a thud pass right through the middle of my chest, then I passed out. When I woke up, I was in a hospital bed. All I could remember afterwards was the pain and the cold. I don't remember much of the accident, but even today the scar on my chest remains. I guess numerous fragments of glass pierce my chest, leaving burn-like scars there and in my back. Actually, I was quite surprised at being saved. Ever since then, I frequently collapse from an anemia-like dizziness and cause a lot of trouble for others. Maybe that's why my old man believed I was unfit to be heir to the Tono household and entrusted me to our relatives. The wound on my chest, huh? The huge scar in the middle of my chest, hidden from view by my uniform. Now that I think about it, after that accident was when I started to see those lines. I am able to forget them thanks to the glasses that Sensei gave me. But I think I would have completely gone mad if I never met her. Keiko-san, the person who had been my mother up until now, said when I left that the Tono household wasn't normal. No problem. I'm not a normal person myself. Adjusting my crooked glasses, I pick up my bag. I can't stay in the classroom forever. Now then. Do we head straight to the mansion or stay for a little bit longer? Oh god, this flow chart is so difficult to read. I think we'll just head straight to the mansion. Get a hold of myself and head back to the mansion. I walk along a different path than the one I usually take. Passing through unfamiliar streets, I slowly approach the Tono mansion. The surroundings are not completely unfamiliar. After all, I had lived there until I was 9 years old, 8 years ago. This is not the first time I have taken this path back to the mansion. My feelings are a little complex. The path home is nostalgic, yet fresh. Up until just now, I had not looked forward to returning to the Tono household. Now, it doesn't seem so bad. The house I lived in until I was 9 years old. Right now, my sister Akiha is in that utterly un-Japanese Western-style mansion. Tono Makihisa, my old man who hated me, and the master of the Tono household, died a few days ago. My mother died from illness after Akiha was born, so the Tonos had dwindled down to me and my sister. Hello. Do you want back up? Yeah? Hello. Move. You can't sit right there. Come on. Being the eldest son, you would think I would stand to become the Tono heir, but I have no such privilege. To become the Tono heir means being bound by a strict upbringing. I have lost count of the number of times my father scolded me over my dislike of not being able to live freely. That was when I got involved in that accident and my body became weakened. My father saw it as a good opportunity to get rid of me. His reasoning was something along the lines of, someone who could die any moment can't be the heir, even if he is the eldest son. Sadly for my father, I betrayed his expectations by making a recovery, but my sister Akiha was already deemed to be the heir to the Tono household. And so I've heard that Akiha, who was already being raised harshly in order to become a proper daughter of the Tono household, received an even harsher upbringing since then. That was a long time ago. I played together with Akiha in the mansion back before the accident. After that, I never saw her again. Apparently, Akiha tried to visit me a few times when I first was entrusted to the Arimas. Unfortunately, we were never able to meet because I had to go to the hospital every day. We completely lost contact after Akiha went to a boarding school. Unlike Akiha, I am isolated from the main family. That's why I can live freely like this. My high school is just an average high school, and our chance of contact was pretty much zero. My old man died, and I received word telling me to come back. To be blunt, I had no intention whatsoever of returning to the Tono household. But Akiha is at that house. When we were children, Akiha was an obedient child, always looking frightened, as if she were constantly enduring something. She would always follow close behind, her footsteps pattering behind me. She was frail, and her long black hair and fancy Western clothes made her resemble a French doll. I am worried about her living all alone in that big mansion with the old man gone. But more than anything, I feel guilty after pushing all the Tono family responsibilities on her and selfishly living a free life by myself. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion is like my apology to Akiha. Perhaps my acceptance to return to the mansion I read that. The Tono mansion is unnecessarily big. Surrounded by iron railings, you could say that the entire lot is abnormally expansive, being so large that a whole elementary school could fit inside. The garden, surrounded by trees, is more like a forest. The mansion is at the heart of that forest, and there are a few other buildings separated from it. I didn't think anything of it when I was a child, but now that I have lived in an ordinary household for 8 years, the excessive size feels almost criminal. The gates aren't locked. I push them open and head towards the mansion doors. They tower oppressively, bearing down on any visitors. Beside the iron double doors is an unmatching doorbell. All right. Shaking off my nervousness, I press it. There isn't any affectionate ding-dong chime from the doorbell. The oppressive silence continues for a few seconds. Then the sound of pattering footsteps behind the door indicates someone's presence. We have been waiting for you. The door opens with a creak. Inside lay the lobby I remembered and a young girl in an apron. Thank goodness! You're so late I was beginning to worry that you had gotten lost. I was thinking about going out to meet you if you hadn't arrived by sunset. The girl in the anachronistic apron smiles warmly. No, that's, I am so taken aback by her outdated mode of dress that I can't even form a proper sentence. Perhaps attributing my hesitance to distrust, the girl tilts her head a little. You're Shiki-sama, aren't you? Yeah, but you don't have to call me Sama. You are, right? Oh, please don't scare me like that. I was beginning to think I had made another mistake back there. The girl's mannerisms are like those of a mother scolding her child. But in spite of that, there's a smile on her face, and it doesn't break the warm feeling about her. She wears an apron over a kimono. She comes out to greet guests and addresses someone like me with Sama. This must mean that she's... Are you one of the maids here by any chance? The girl answers my question with nothing but a smile. Come, you must be tired. Please do come in. Akiha-sama is waiting for you in the sitting room. The girl quickly crosses the lobby and heads towards the sitting room. Turning back as if she just remembered something, she makes a bow, a full smile on her face. Welcome home, Shiki-sama. Her greeting is accompanied by her flower-like smile. I can't think of any reply, so I just follow her hesitatingly. I like Kohaku. She's fun. Guided by the girl, I head to the sitting room. It's as if I'm seeing it for the first time. I don't know if I've forgotten about it in the last 8 years, or if they had refurbished it since then. Either way, it feels like someone else's house now, and it's unsettling. As I'm looking around the sitting room, the maid in the apron lowers her head in a quick bow. I've brought Shiki-sama with me. Well done. You may return to the kitchen, Kohaku. Thank you. It seems that maid's name is Kohaku. Kohaku-san gives a small bow as if to say farewell and leaves the sitting room. This leaves me and 2 girls I don't recognize. It has been a long time, Nii-san, says the girl with the long black hair and sharp eyes. All my thought processes stop at once. My mind goes blank, and I can't think of any words of greeting. All I can do is nod with a yeah. I don't think it can be helped. This Akiha that I had not seen in 8 years is not the Akiha I remember. She's completely transformed into a proper young lady of a noble family. Nii-san? The black-haired girl tilts her head slightly. Pathetically, all I can say are dumb-sounding things. My mind is turning in somersaults as I try to recognize the girl before me as Akiha, but it seems like Akiha already recognizes me as her brother. You do not look well. Would you like to rest before we talk? Akiha throws a sharp glance in my direction. Is it just my imagination that she looks like she's in a bad mood? No, I'm alright. I was just surprised at how much you've changed, Akiha. People do change over the course of 8 years, Nii-san. We are at an age of change, or did you think we would remain as we were forever? What is this? I can feel the thorns in Akiha's words. No, you've definitely changed, Akiha. You've become more beautiful than before. That isn't flattery. It's how I really feel. And... indeed. But you, on the other hand, have not changed much at all. Akiha answers coldly, her eyes closed. Well, I came prepared for something like this. It is as I had thought. It seems Akiha does not think well of me. If you are feeling well, let us finish our conversation. You have yet to hear the details about why you were called back here, Nii-san? I've heard nothing more than a sudden comeback to the mansion, though I found out the old man passed away in the papers. If the head of a major company dies, it definitely makes it in the financial papers. Word of Tono Makihisa's death reached his son, Tono Shiki, via the newspaper after the funeral. Even though his relatives hadn't told him, this disinherited son could pick up news of his father's death merely by buying a 100-yen newspaper. It might be cynical of me to say so, but the world has certainly become a convenient place. I am sorry. It was my fault that you did not get the news about father. Akiha quietly lowers her head. It's alright. Either way, it's not like he would come back from the dead if I went. It's not something you should be worried about. I am sorry. It is somewhat comforting to hear you say that. Akiha's face is serious, but this is not a topic I care much about. A funeral is a ceremony for those who cannot let go of their feelings for the deceased to achieve such detachment. For someone like me, who cut off such feelings a long time ago, there is no need. Calling you back here was my idea. It would be odd for the eldest son of the Tonos to be entrusted to the Arimas forever. Now that father has passed away, the only Tonos by blood are you and I, Nii-san. I don't know what father was thinking when he entrusted you to the Arimas, but he's no longer with us, so there's no longer any need for you to live with them. That is why I had you come back here. That's all well and good, but I'm quite surprised you were able to get our relatives to agree to this. Wasn't it they who came up with the idea of leaving me with the Arimas in the first place? That may be so, but now I am the head of the Tono family. I declined every one of the proposals from our relatives. I would like you to continue living here, Nii-san, but this is a place with rules. You will avoid living the overly casual lifestyle you've been leading up until now. I'm afraid that isn't going to happen, Akiha. There's no way I can go back to being some well-mannered gentleman now. Not that I want to. I will not ask any more of you, but do try to... I will not ask more of you, but do try to. Or are you saying you are unable to do what I already have? Akiha shoots me a cold look. It feels like she's hitting me with her grudge against me for leaving her here for the last 8 years. Alright, I get it. I'll try my best. Akiha just stares at me, as if she doesn't quite believe me. You do not need to try, as long as you get the results. Her pose is dignified, her words merciless. Let's get back to the topic. Right now, you and I are the only ones living here. I do not care for having too many people around, so I cleared everyone out. Hold on a second, Akiha. You cleared everyone out? You wouldn't want to run into one of our relatives in the mansion, would you, Nii-san? I have put off most of the servants, but there are enough for you and I, so there are no problems. Wait, no problems? You're going to get attacked at our family meeting if you do something like that. Oh, Oh, please be quiet. Rather than have the mansion overflowing with people, wouldn't you feel more relaxed with just the two of us here? Ugh. Well, it's true that I would feel more relaxed, but you've only just become head of the family, Akiha. If you go around abusing your powers like some kind of dictator, our relatives are not going to keep quiet. Even the old man didn't go against their opinions. Indeed. That's why Father entrusted you to the Arimas. I, on the other hand, have despised them ever since I was a child. I am not going to put up with their whining any longer. Not going to put up with... Look, Akiha. Enough! Just listen! You don't have to worry about me. Please, just worry about your own life from now on, Nissan. I can see it's going to be difficult for you in many ways. Akiha says sullenly, looking away a little. Now then, if there's anything you don't understand, ask her, Hisui. She looks at the girl standing by her side. The girl called Hisui bows expressionlessly. This is Hisui. She will be your personal maid from now on. Is that acceptable? Huh? Hold on. Personal maid? You mean... In other words, she's your servant. Akiha declares as if it were obvious. I can't believe it. Fitting with the Western style of the house, the girl in the maid outfit stands there as if it is natural to do so. Hold on. I'm not a kid, you know. I don't need a servant. I can take care of myself. Would that include the cooking and the laundry? Ugh, Akiha is pretty sharp at pointing these things out. At any rate, now that you've returned to this house, you will obey my directions. I don't know how you lived at the Arima house, but you're living at the Tono house now. Please accept everything given to you. Ugh. I can't say anything, and I drift my eyes... my eyes drift towards Hisui. As expected, she simply looks back at me expressionlessly, like a doll. Well then, Hisui, please show Nissan to his room. Yes, my lady. Hisui approaches me with a shadow-like lack of presence. I will guide you to your room, Shiki-sama. Hisui heads towards the lobby. Sighing, I head off towards the lobby as well. We enter the lobby. This mansion is split into east and west wings, with the lobby in the middle. The lobby is like the body of a bird, whose wings are the halls extending diagonally to the east and west. Each wing is about the size of a small hospital. I remember the house is constructed symmetrically, so both the east and west wings have the same floor plan. Your room is this way, Shiki-sama. Hisui climbs up a flight of stairs. It seems like my room is on the second floor. Come to think of it, the servants' rooms should be on the first floor of the west wing, so that's probably where Hisui and Kohaku-san's rooms are. Outside, the sun has already set. The girl in the maid uniform walks down the long, dimly lit hallway without a word. It kind of feels like a wonderland. Without thinking, I let my thoughts slip out. Did you say something, Shiki-sama? Hisui stops and looks back at me. No, I'm just talking to myself. Don't worry about it. After staring at me, Hisui bows and starts walking again. I guess this is what they call being at a loss for words. The room Hisui led me to is not one made for a mere high school student to live in. Is this my room? Yes. If you are displeased with it, I can arrange for a different one for you. No, there's no way I could be displeased with it. It's just a little... no, really too fancy for me. Shiki-sama. It's fine. I'll gladly use this room. Yes, This room has not been touched since 8 years ago, so I do not believe you will find anything unsatisfactory with it. Huh? There's something a little odd about the way Hisui said that. It's as if she was implying this was once my room. Hey, is this by any chance my old room? That is what I have been told. Am I mistaken? Hisui inclines her head to the side slightly. I feel relieved. It seems this girl can express emotion after all. Well, it might be, now that you mention it. I do remember it faintly, so it must be so. I can't feel any sense of familiarity about this place at all, but I guess that's what it's like after you leave a place for 8 years. I can't get settled here, though. I was living in a 6.5 mat-sized room until this morning. It's like I'm staying in some high-class hotel. I understand how you feel, but please try to get used to it. From today onwards, you are the eldest son of the Tono house, Shiki-sama. You're right. I've got to do my best so I at least look like it on the outside. With a thump, I drop my bag on the table and stretch my back. I've been feeling a little stressed out with everything that's happened so far, but I guess I've got no choice but to adjust from today onwards. Shiki-sama, all of your luggage has been brought here. Is there anything more you require? No, not really. Why do you ask? There was very little delivered. If there's anything you need, I can have it prepared, so please do not hesitate to ask. I see. No, I don't need anything more for now. I didn't have much luggage to begin with. My luggage is just this bag, these glasses, and the textbooks in my bag, and that white ribbon with an unidentified owner. That's all. Anyways, you don't have to worry about the luggage. This fancy room is more than enough for me. I understand. Well then, I shall come to call you in an hour's time. An hour? For dinner, you mean? Yes. Please relax until then. As expected, Hisui says everything with an expressionless face. But even if she tells me to relax, just how am I supposed to do that here? The clock says it's 6 o'clock. Usually I'd be watching TV in the sitting room around this time, but I'm having serious doubts as to whether there's any such thing in this mansion. Hisui, I know it's kind of a trivial thing to ask about, but is there a television in this mansion? A television? Hisui's eyes narrow slightly. I know I'm the one who asked, but it really is a stupid question. I feel like there's something wrong with asking about the presence of a TV in a luxurious mansion like this. Hisui makes a rare troubled face and stares off into space. There is no television in the sitting room. Some of the visitors did make use of one, but when they departed, they packed it up with their luggage and took it back with them. So I do not believe there are any remaining. So, from my understanding, it is Koma who stole the TV from the Tono house. I don't really know anything else about that guy. I just know that he stole the TV. He took the TV. Hold on. Visitors? Like who? For how long? Relatives. The eldest son of Kugamine-sama from a branch of the family, Tozaki-sama's third daughter and her fiancé, and Kishima-sama's eldest son came to stay for close to 3 years. 3 years, huh? Hisui, that's what you'd call freeloaders, not visitors. Hisui does not reply. No matter what kind of people these freeloaders were, it seems that servants can't say anything bad about them. Well, at any rate, it seems like those relatives had brought and taken back their own luggage with them. My old man hated the products of modern culture, thinking them all vulgar. There was no way he would ever watch a TV. Akiha, who had been educated by him for the last 8 years, would probably be the same. Well, it's not like I'll die without one. Hisui is silent. Like a perfect example for servants, Hisui just says nothing unless she is being asked a direct question. This is, of course, kind of depressing for me. I want to make that expressionless face break into a smile somehow, but that seems impossible with just any old half-hearted effort. Oh, there was a library on the first floor of the West Wing, wasn't there? Maybe I'll go find something to read when I have some free time. Hisui does not reply. She just stands there in the doorway. I can't even tell where she's looking. Hisui? Hisui doesn't say a word. Suddenly, she looks straight at me. I believe there's one in Ne-san's room. Huh? I have no idea what she's talking about. There's one of what? A television. I remember seeing one in Ne-san's room. Hisui says, as if remembering something from many years ago. Hold on. Ne-san? Don't tell me you're talking about Kohaku-san? Yes. Right now, the only people working at this mansion are Ne-san and I. Now that she mentions it, they do look alike. I just couldn't connect them as sisters because Kohaku-san is always smiling so warmly, and Hisui-san is always, or just Hisui, is always expressionless. I see. Kohaku-san does look like the type of person who'd watch those variety shows. But I balk at going to Kohaku-san's room to tell her, let me watch your TV. Sorry, just forget I ever asked. After all, I'll be living here from now on, so I've got to follow the rules of the mansion. God knows what sort of cynical comment I'd be in for from Akiha if I started watching television. It seems I'll be leading a scholarly student life fit for a member of the Tono family from now on. Alright, I'll be in my room until dinner, so just come and call me when it's time. You've got other things to do, don't you, Hisui? Hisui nods in assent and turns around. Silently opening the door, she leaves the room. Dinner takes place with Akiha and I being face to face. I guess it's natural here, as Hisui and Kohaku-san do not eat with us, standing behind us to tend to our needs. I thought it would be natural if all 4 of us ate together, so you can say I'm caught off guard by this inexplicably tense dinner. I should mention at this point that I've totally forgotten anything related to table manners by now. Well, I do remember little pieces, so it's not like I'm a complete amateur, but humans tend to pack away unused memories into the corners of the mind. The tension was actually quite thrilling, with every one of my movements causing Akiha to raise an eyebrow. When I think about how I'll have to go through this every day, though, it's really depressing. Finishing dinner, I return to my room. It's still only just past 8 at night. It's too early to sleep, so what should I do? I suppose we will go watch TV with Kohaku, because that sounds fun. Let's see. Kohaku-san's room is here, isn't it? Knock, knock. I knock on her door. Kohaku-san, are you there? Yes, please hold on for a minute. I can hear her cheerful voice from inside the room. I wait for about 3 minutes. Kohaku-san opens the door and pokes her head out. Oh, it's you, Shiki-sama. What are you doing here at this time? Well, I was wondering if you'd let me watch your TV. Huh? Kohaku-san gives me a bewildered look. Well, there's no TV in this house, is there? I've been living in a normal house up until now, so it's become a daily routine for me to watch TV after dinner. I guess I can't calm down without watching it or something like that, so the more I say it, the more I realize I'm doing something stupid. There is something not right about barging into a lady's room demanding to watch her TV. Look, even Kohaku-san is just standing there looking bewildered. Wait, no she's not. I guess you're right. You've been living at the Arima household up until yesterday, after all. You must think this mansion to be kind of depressing after moving here all of a sudden. Kohaku-san gives a cheerful laugh. Let's see. Have you talked to Akiha-sama and Hisui-chan about this yet? You mean about coming to your room, Kohaku-san? Kohaku-san nods. No, I haven't talked to anyone about it yet. What about it? No, it's nothing. It's just that I would have to turn you away if you had already talked to them about it. Smiling while she speaks, Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. Luckily for us, there isn't anyone else around. Please hurry up and come in. It'll be troublesome if we're caught. Please, just sit it anywhere. I'll go make some tea. Coughing to clear my throat, I take a seat. There are all sorts of little things in Kohaku-san's room. It might be thought of as a bit messy for a girl's room. There aren't really many things you could call cute, and what she does have is a lot of things that don't look very useful. Rather, it has the atmosphere of a room belonging to an orderly, scholarly person. Buried in the miscellaneous objects, I find the TV. On top of the table is the remote. Maybe Kohaku-san has been watching the TV until just now. Thanks for waiting. Tea is fine for you, isn't it, Shiki-sama? Thank you. Please don't mind me too much. Oh no, not at all. I'm sorry I can't do much to treat you. Kohaku-san says so, smiling warmly. So, the TV. What do you watch around this time, Shiki-san? Sama? I don't have any set programs in particular, but the news is a pretty basic one. I like to hear new trends, and I like snob stories. Is that so? You seem like a very laid-back person, so I thought you'd be reading after dinner or something. No, I don't have such refined interests. I don't consider myself laid back either, but maybe that's the impression I give with my glasses. You wear glasses, Shiki-sama. Akiha-sama didn't say anything about that at all, so I was quite surprised when I saw you at the door. I see. I haven't met Akiha since I started wearing these glasses. These glasses are just for show. I guess you could say my eyes are bad, but I think my vision is better than that of most people. It's not because I studied too much or went nearsighted or anything. Crap. I had an intellectual image, but did I disappoint you? Not at all. I enjoy watching TV more than reading, too. I'm glad that you're an energetic person, just like I thought you were. Yeah, thanks. Look at her, she's so cute. Kohaku's route is the last one out of 5 routes in this game. I'm a little embarrassed. Faced directly with Kohaku-san's carefree smile, I can't help but feel a little nervous. I'm sorry. You came to watch the news, didn't you? Kohaku-san switches the TV on. It's already 9 o'clock. The news, as it usually does, reports the day's events with a little exaggeration. Oh dear, looks like there's been another one of those serial murders. Kohaku-san says to herself while sitting next to me, sounding not the least bit concerned. The news is running a special feature on the serial killings. The serial murders, which began in the neighboring town, are now beginning to be concentrated within this town. It's a pretty simple story. Late at night, he attacks young girls indiscriminately, and in the end, he drains their blood. It seems like last night's victim is the 9th one so far. I wonder what the police are doing about it. Who knows? It would seem pretty easy to catch a murderer who comes out at night, but maybe he's really careful so they can't trace him. You could be right. The clues about murderers build up as they kill more people, so if they haven't caught him even after 9 murders, he must be really carefully prepared for the killings. A careful killer, huh? But aren't these killings spontaneous crimes? It's quite strange to think of them as being carefully prepared. You're right. If there's no evidence left at all, then maybe he's not a random killer at all. I can only think that he's got it all planned out from the start for execution. I see. But then what would be the point of killing those 9 girls? Are they friends of his? Acquaintances? Probably not. If there were connections like that, then I think the police would have realized it by now. In the end, I suppose it's an incomprehensible case without motive or connections. Kohaku-san says all of this disturbing stuff with a smile. It seems like she's really not worried about this case. These murders are happening right here in this town, Kohaku-san. You're a young girl and all, so aren't you even a little scared? I'll be fine, since the killer only appears late at night. If I don't go out at night, I won't run into him. Kohaku-san really is a clear thinker. It is perhaps a bit of a raw explanation, but I suppose that's how a mere news story should be treated. Sorry for intruding on you. I'll be counting on you again the next time I feel like watching TV. Sure, I'll be waiting. Kohaku-san looks up and down the hallway. I'd like to escort you back to your room, but Hisui-chan is waiting there, so I'll have to say my goodbye here. Okay, good night. I had no idea bedtime at the mansion was at 10. Apparently, there's some kind of unwritten rule here that one is not to be out of their room after 10. It's still so formal here, even with the old man gone. Well, I guess it's only natural. I'm also getting tired from my unfamiliarity with this mansion, so I obediently return to my room. When I return to my room, my bed has been made. Did Hisui do it while I was away? I'm glad she did, but it's really more than I deserve. I scratch my cheek. Then, are you there, Shiki-sama? I can hear Hisui's voice along with a knock at the door. Yeah, I'm here. Come in. Excuse me. Good evening. Thanks for making my bed, Hisui. Hisui quietly nods in acceptance. Just as I thought. I'm not used to this. Is there anything else you want to tell me? No, nothing from me, but Akiha-sama has instructed me to answer any questions you may have. I see. There are many things I want to ask, but I'll probably get to know them as I continue to live here. Yeah. What I want to know right before I sleep is it true that the curfew here is 7? Yes. The main gate is locked at 7, and all the entrances to the mansion are to be locked at 8. It is also a rule that one must try not to go walking around in the mansion after 10. Not even walking around in the mansion? Well, I've got no complaint with that, but isn't that kind of harsh? Akiha and I aren't children, so I don't think you have to go that far. Indeed. It is a rule, however, so please abide by it. You are aware of the recent disturbances at night, are you not, Shiki-sama? Yeah, that vampire thing Arihiko was talking about. Well, as long as something like that is happening, I guess it's better to be safe than sorry. What else? Oh, do you mind if I ask an off-topic question? Yes, what is it? I'd like to know what kind of work you and Kohaku-san do around here. I am here to serve Shiki-sama's needs, and my sister Kohaku to serve Lady Akiha-sama. In our spare time, we do the maintenance chores around the mansion. Is there anything more you would like to know? To serve. So that's what it is after all. My shoulders suddenly feel heavier. It seemed completely natural to Akiha when she said it, but I'm nothing more than a normal high school student. I have no interest in having a girl around my age serving me, at least not for now. By serving me, you mean you're a personal servant? Yes. Please do not hesitate to ask anything of me. Well, I get it. Going by how Akiha was talking about you, it doesn't seem like I can dismiss you, so I'll just obediently let you serve me. Is there anything else in particular you would like? Nothing in particular, but could you stop calling me Shiki-sama? To be honest, I get chills down my back when I hear it. But Shiki-sama, you are my master. That's what I'm saying I hate. I've been living a normal life up until yesterday. I have no desire to start living a life where a girl my age addresses me with Sama. I see. Hisui's response was less than enthusiastic. Just call me Shiki, and in exchange, I'll call you Hisui. Let's do away with the formalities and be more casual with each other. Still expressionless, Hisui lowers her eyebrows as if she's being troubled. But you are my employer. It's not like I'm hiring you. You're the one doing the things I can't, so you're the great one. I see. Hisui gives another unenthusiastic reply. It looks like I won't be able to talk her into it in just one day. Anyhow, that's how it is. Don't be so formal towards me. I'll be grateful if you'd tell that to your sister Kohaku-san, too. Very well, as you say, Shiki-sama. Expressionless, Hisui bows her head. She completely failed to understand. I will be leaving now. Please rest now for tonight. Bowing, Hisui puts her hand on the doorknob. Oh, I forgot to ask something. Hold on for a second. Running towards the door, I put my hand on Hisui's shoulder before she leaves. In an instant, Hisui's arm pushes away my arm with incredible momentum. With a whack, she slaps my hand away and leaps back. It's so sudden, that's the only thing I can say. Hisui is expressionless, but she glares at me fiercely. Did I just do something wrong? I am very sorry. She sounds very nervous. I'm not used to being touched. Please forgive me. Hisui's shoulders are faintly trembling. I feel like I just did something really terrible. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize without thinking. I don't understand why myself. I just feel sorry for Hisui, and I lower my head. Hisui says nothing. I get the feeling her stare is calm again. You have nothing to apologize for, Shiki-sama. I am the one to blame. No, well, maybe, but I scratch my head. Hisui stares at me, pausing only to blink for a second. What was it you wanted to ask me, Shiki-sama? That's right. I stopped her because I wanted to ask her something. Oh, I wanted to ask about Akiha. Doesn't she go to a boarding school? That was only during middle school, Shiki-sama. From this year onwards, Akiha-sama has special permission to attend school from home. You mean she goes to school from here? Yes, but it is uncommon for her to come home before dusk like today. Akiha-sama has practice up until dinner, so she is always home before 7. Practice? Practice what? Today is Thursday, so she would have had violin practice. Usually, she is able to return before dinner on weekdays, so if you have anything to say to Akiha-sama, please let Ne-san know after dinner. Hisui bows to say goodbye and leaves the room. Violin practice? What on earth is that? She's not some upper-class lady or anything. Yes, she is, Shiki. So why should she have to do something as bothersome as... Oh, wait, she is an upper-class lady. Yes. Come to think of it, my sister, Tono Akiha, is a natural-born upper-class lady. In my memories, she was always the obedient, ever-uneasy sister who'd always follow me around. As a child, Akiha was always quiet, never having even the courage to express her own desires. She was a frail girl who would always live in fear of a scolding from our father. Yeah, people really do change after 8 years. After 8 years, I've become the me I am now. Akiha has become the Akiha of right now, too. 8 years is a long time. It's half of our lives up until now. I was absent from this mansion during that vital period where a child becomes an adult. I'm sorry, Akiha. I think things would have been better if I had been with her during those 8 years. I unconsciously mumble an apology. Left by myself, I lie on my bed. This house from 8 years ago, my blood relative from 8 years ago, it feels a little like they belong to someone else. I wonder what's going to happen to me now. Grumbling to no one in particular, I fall asleep. Oh, I hear the wave-like sound of something's voice. Oh, something is howling. It's too sharp and high-pitched to be a stray dog. Oh, it echoes in my eardrums. Is it howling at the moon? Oh, this doesn't feel right. The beastly howling is beginning to give me a headache. Oh, it doesn't stop. Oh, I'm not howling anymore. Just shut up already. I wake up. I can hear the sound of a dog barking outside the window. The clock indicates it is just past 11. This is more than just a neighborhood nuisance. Damn, I can't sleep like this. The dog's howling comes from somewhere near the mansion's fence. It doesn't seem like I can go back to sleep at this rate. Even Akiha and the others wouldn't be able to sleep with a racket like this. Since I'm the only man in the house, I guess I've got no choice but to go investigate. I think it's coming from the right side of the mansion. I open the curtains and check what's happening outside. And outside my room is a large tree. On one of the branches is perched a blue crow. In the dark night, I can see nothing but black, and yet it's quite clear to me that the crow is blue. I've never seen or even heard of a blue crow before. It glares at me. It feels like the eyes of the crow are staring at me like soulless mechanical lenses. Cry! After a yawn-like cry, it noiselessly flies off. What was that? I can feel a faint chill on my back. The howling of the dogs grows louder. It's really starting to get on my nerves. Not only is it noisy, but hearing it causes my heart to start pounding. I have an almost instinctual distaste for it. Shut up! I change out of my pajamas into my uniform and leave the room. The howling echoes through the night. That sound is definitely coming from the right-hand side of the mansion. For some reason, my throat feels dry. The high walls stretch their way around the mansion. Clearing my throat, I head towards where the dogs must be gathered. I arrive at where the howling originates. Huh? The howling doesn't stop. But there are no signs of any dogs. All there is a person. Under the light from the streetlight that carves apart the darkness stands a man in a dark coat. The howling is coming from right beside him. But there are no dogs to be seen anywhere. The man in the coat is pretty tall. He has a strongly built body and his back is facing me. My throat is so dry. The voice of the dog resounds in my ears. The night air coils itself around my skin. For no apparent reason, I have difficulty breathing and moving, as if I'm at the bottom of the sea. A cry overhead. With a loud flapping of its wings, the blue crow lands onto the man's shoulder. Then, suddenly, the crow vanishes. Eh? Can it be an illusion? It looked like the crow disappeared into his black coat. The man in the black coat turns around. Under the white streetlight, he is just like a shadow. A black lump. In the middle of that lump, only the weapon-like eyes shine out, burning with a fiery intelligence. Ah, I can't breathe. But fortunately, those eyes seem like they're not even looking at me. Not here, after all. The man in the black coat leaves. When I can no longer see him, I am finally able to breathe properly again. Y'all, I'm not gonna spoil it, but I will just say, that guy is one of the coolest characters I have ever seen. I managed to take a few breaths. I realized the dog's howling has ceased. I return to my room. There is no sign of Akiha or the others being awake. I guess I'm the only one who couldn't stand the dog's howling. What's happening? My head still hurts. Huh? Why am I trembling? Looking down, my fingers are trembling. My entire body is shaking, and my back feels very cold. It's almost like... yes. It's almost like someone ripped out my spine and replaced it with ice. I feel dizzy. Is it just the usual anemia? I get the feeling of falling towards the floor. On the way, I see something unpleasant. What? Even though I'm wearing my glasses, I can still see the lines. I hadn't seen them at all for a long time, so my reaction is magnified. I feel sick. With the dizziness from my anemia, I feel like I'm about to throw up the contents of my stomach. What's going on? I don't understand. Only that as long as my eyes are open, scribbles fly everywhere across my vision. It's a bad dream. Somehow, I managed to collapse into bed. Yes, I should sleep. That's the easiest way to deny what I'm seeing. My body doesn't move as I want it to. All I should do is lie here and fall fast asleep like a corpse. Alright. I think that is where we're gonna go ahead and call it for today. I wasn't sure, but apparently, yes, this game is split up into separate, like, cleanly defined days, the way Fate's Day Night is. So we'll probably follow that format for streams of this, just like I did for Stay Night. That does mean that we didn't even see Arcueid today. I'm probably gonna rename the VOD, because I think we technically, like, only just got onto Arc's route at the very end there. So yeah, I'm gonna be streaming Tsukihime every Friday going forward until we finish it. if you're new to the channel, please stick around. Well, I hope you stick around. Like I said, I just wrapped up Fate Stay Night a couple weeks ago, so that playlist is over on my YouTube channel, and I've got a lot of other stuff on my YouTube channel too, and I stream on both YouTube and Twitch 5 nights a week. Mostly Genshin, and like I said, we're going to be doing Tsukihime on Fridays, and I do Grand Blue Fantasy on Saturdays. So yeah, thank you to everybody who stopped by tonight. I hope you're enjoying this new game, and I hope to see you all next time.